Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Komak, Japan, where we share real stories, personal experiences, and insights about life in Japan. We'll talk about everything from work and study life to culture, manners, and those everyday surprises you only discover when you actually live there. Between us, we lived, worked, and studied in Japan, and we want to give you a glimpse of a real everyday life in Japan, not just the tourist version. Before we start, just a quick note. Everything we talk about here comes from our lives and personal experiences living, working, and studying in Japan. These are just our perspectives, and of course, everyone's experiences can be different. Some of what we say might not match your own views, and that's totally fine. So, with that said, let's get into it. And thank you again for joining us on Komak, Japan. We both live in Japan for many years, and you're speaking almost native level Japanese, so you understand probably more of Japanese culture and manners than me. Of course, I live there, also have some experiences, but I would like to know more about your opinion towards, are the Japanese really racist? Have you ever experienced it living for many years in Japan? And yeah, just tell me a little bit about your experience while you were living in Japan. When was the first time you felt, I don't know, maybe culture shock or felt like you've been discriminated towards or been racist towards or something like that? Both of us are not white as well, and that makes it even more interesting to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was actually trying to think of instance like situations where I thought, oh, they're being like racist. I think rather than that word, it was more I was having culture shock because when I first went to Asia, the first country that I visited was actually not Japan. It
Mm-hmm.
was China, right? So at the time, um, and yeah, I'm kind of not probably not being 100% politically correct here, but in the US, uh, in particular in my area, we didn't have like such a good impression, or there wasn't like that. Now it's like really different in 2025, right? But at that time, the political climate was a bit different, and I didn't really. I grew up. And it wasn't, just people around me didn't give me the best impression of like China in
Mm-hmm.
particular.
Mm-hmm.
But I did decide to, I personally held almost no, I was totally neutral when it came to China, right? I actually didn't know anything about it, but I was given an opportunity to go there. So when I went there, I actually faced very little culture shock because of how similar I guess they can be to
Mm-hmm.
people in the States. And I felt like they were really kind, and I felt like it was really easy to be friends with them.
Yeah.
Um, so I wasn't there very long. It was just 2 months. I was on the first month was learning Chinese, which they were also very great with that. It was very fun to go and speak in Chinese with the locals. They would actually treat you like they would actively encourage you. It didn't matter where I went. If I was asking for food, if I was asking how much something would cost, they
Mm-hmm.
would actually say, "Oh, it's this much," like very enthusiastically, or "Oh, you mean this?" They would actually correct my Chinese
Yeah,
like
that's
all the
nice.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's when at the time I was studying to be a police. Basically, I wanted to be like a detective of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this experience, I thought, wow, like learning a different language and trying to understand the culture and different. By the way, I ended up really very enjoying China greatly. And as I was saying earlier, with the previous context, that we didn't always have the best impression of China, right? But
Yeah.
I had a really great impression of China at the time, and I thought, it seems like the opinions of other people, they're not really matching with what
Mm-hmm.
I heard around me. So why don't I explore on my own and see it with my own eyes rather than and I had already had a great interest in Japan. And I
Mhm.
was focusing more on my major, but I did take Japanese classes. They ended up being a bit too difficult for me. So, but I did always have that in the I wanted to go to Japan someday. So, since I was doing the China thing was actually a study abroad thing, so I decided, well, let's go to Japan.
Mhm.
And when I went to Japan, I noticed almost immediately that Japanese people were really it was culture shock 100%. They were they I didn't feel like they were anything like the Chinese people and students that I met in China. I felt like it
In
was
what
way
aspect?
harder
Ah,
in
okay, yeah. Sorry.
in what
Keep going.
aspect? So in even just like having a conversation and trying to like become friends with someone at like
Hmm.
a gathering, a social gathering, or an international exchange or whatever. If you were, we had those in China too while I was there, and it was much easier to talk, just go and talk to a Chinese person. And if you were struggling, even if you tried to use Chinese and you were struggling, they would stop you. This happened to me constantly. They actually stop you and say, no, that's not the way you say it. You say it like this. So a lot of the exchange ended up being like a real language exchange, right?
Yeah.
So that was my impression of what a language exchange was and what it was to learn to talk to others from a different culture. It was like pure in learning
Hmm.
through context and learning through culture and learning through people. I didn't learn that. I didn't feel that when I was in Japan. I felt
Okay.
like it was really difficult to talk to people.
Hmm.
Japanese people, they tended to go with other Japanese people.
Hmm.
If you didn't speak Japanese to a certain level, they were kind of like not. I felt like they didn't want to cause a problem. I think Japan is very, 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 and they want to maintain peace. They want to have, they don't want anybody to be stressed. They want harmony, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, so
Mhm.
I think they would just avoid, and due to that, due because of that, they would avoid encounters that a lot of Chinese people wouldn't avoid
Maybe
when I was in
Japanese,
China.
maybe Japanese consider that rude to correct you if you're making mistakes or or something like that. I don't know.
Yes,
Be-
definitely. They don't want to shame you
yes.
by
Yeah.
correcting you. Um, so there, I started to realize, like as you were saying, you were mentioning earlier about
Hmm.
if you're in Asia, you can see differences between all the cultures
Yeah.
and the types of Asian people. And I started to realize right away, oh, okay, Japanese people are actually really, really, they're, I mean, obviously they have similarities to
Hmm.
other Asian groups, but they actually have I thought that was an extreme contrast, in my opinion, which led to the culture shock. Like, it felt like it was much more difficult
Hmm.
to engage with Japanese people. I even thought at some point, oh, maybe I should have just done because I did 2 months in China, and for Japan, I decided to just throw myself since I had so much interest.
Yeah.
So I decided to do a whole year,
Hmm.
and like the first 2 months in, I started to actually wonder, should I have just gone to China instead
Yeah. Okay.
of Japan? With that said, I started to notice that the more I decided not to give up on Japan, and I thought maybe the problem for here is that I do need to reach a certain level of Japanese
Yeah.
before they can warm up to me
Hmm.
and open up more. And yes, that was the case. Whereas in China, you didn't really have to like be
Yeah.
be very proficient in Chinese to be able to communicate with people. I felt like in Japan, you do have to. If you really for what I'm looking for in particular, which is like actually try to meet other humans at a deep level. It's just because of my personality. I think there's other people that might be different and they might be listening to this and think I didn't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
But just yeah, we have to consider, I guess, right. It's a personal experience, my personality. The way that I approach interactions required me in particular to have a greater understanding of the Japanese language And yeah, so definitely some culture shock.
Yeah.
I don't really, I can't really think of too many I didn't, just like you, I didn't feel any super concrete, I didn't have very concrete feelings of, oh, this person is like racist. I never once thought that. I never felt that. I
Yeah.
did
Hmm.
feel some xenophobia,
Hmm.
definitely, like going to the post office,
Yeah.
uh, and not knowing how to send. Like I needed to do something at the post office, and I couldn't read any of the forms, and they would ask me, "Which form do you want?"
Mm.
And I didn't want to. I would say I don't know which form, but I want to do this. And I didn't
Yeah.
know how to say, I didn't know how to say like which form do you recommend for me if I want to do this, right?
Mm.
I couldn't express that. So I actually ended up annoying the people at the post office, and they actually broke character. And usually they're very nice to you, they're very polite, but they actually started to kind of be almost mean to me because they were
Mm.
so annoyed. Why are you coming to why are you coming
Yes.
in and you don't know what you're doing and you're disturbing the peace? At the time, I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. But
But
yeah,
that's what exactly I'm talking about because um, many people would consider that discrimination or racism. You don't speak, for example, Japanese. You don't know what you want in the post office or wherever you go, right? And you expecting those people to help you and understand you. And of course, they have a lot of 1,000 other things to do, and you're acting like you have to be helped and they have to give you a service, but you don't know even what you want, right? And you can't explain yourself properly. And of course they get frustrated like the other people on this planet. I actually had this experience also once because I was late to go to the train, and I made a mistake. That was my fault. I totally understand. It was my fault. And the lady at the counter opened the door for me. You know, sometimes they open the door, not you can't go through the gate. They open the door for you,
hmm
right? And the lady was it felt like to me like that she had 1,000 experience only that day. People like me getting stuck in the gate, right? And she said,
hmm
"Oh, anta gagagajin," right? She was like, she was like so mad, not because of me, because of probably 10, 20 people before me, and they were foreigners. They made the same mistake as I did, right?
uh-huh.
So she was not happy that day because of that. And of course, she was frustrated because she had to keep coming out, okay, fix the gate and let foreigners go, right? And I didn't get
Yeah,
mad at it. Actually, I was feeling sorry that why I did a stupid mistake that I made, right? I could have avoided that, but I was in a hurry and I understand why she was frustrated. I didn't get offended. I didn't get mad. It was my fault and I accepted it, right? So I think many Japanese also try to avoid conflicts and avoid problems like that. And sometimes they avoid to give you services because like you come to the restaurant. I know so many I have seen so many signs or things on social medias that says restaurant says only Japanese, right? And
yeah,
Jesus, under this, all Japanese are racist, Japanese are discriminating. Oh, wait, what about us? What about us, right? Only Japanese? Why only Japanese? First of all, excuse me, this is Japan, right? And maybe the chef or people who give service, they don't speak English, okay? And you expecting them to give you a service, you go in there, you don't speak the language, you don't know what you want, they don't have time for that. This is Japan, okay? It's not like sorry to say, it's not some like some foreign countries that, for example, five people go to the restaurant the whole day. You know, they have like thousands of people coming to that restaurant per day, or maybe 200,000. I don't know how many people go there, but they don't have time to sit and translate for you one by one. Okay, and they don't speak English. Sorry, I'm with Japanese in this case. Okay, only Japanese. If you speak Japanese, trust me, I went to restaurants. I tell you this, this is actually true. I went to a restaurant that says only Japanese, right? And I spoke Japanese and I was okay. Okay? They welcomed me. And I asked them, why did you write only Japanese? They said, but we don't speak English. So many foreigners, so many tourists come here and they waste our time. Eventually, they get the food and they're not happy with it because they ordered the wrong thing. Okay, and they give us probably and 3 stars on I don't know, tourist, what they call them, Google
Uh,
ranking or whatever, right?
yeah.
And they bother us too much. Like they waste our time. We cannot sit down one by one translate. Take out our phones and use Google Translate. I don't know, we have ChatGPT and all these translate systems, but trust me, Japanese don't have time for that, and foreigners don't get it. You know, don't get it. They don't get it. And I'm with Japanese here. Okay, 100%. I've never been racist toward in Japan, at least for the entire time I stayed in Japan. And there's one explanation for that. I always respected Japanese people and Japanese culture. Okay. I always looked at Japanese people, how they eat, okay, in a restaurant. I did exactly the same thing. I would go to shrines and I just did whatever the other people did. Okay. Everybody was quiet. I stayed quiet. Everybody just prayed. I prayed. They throw coins. I throw the coin. Right. But unfortunately, I've seen a lot of foreigners just go there and they feel like they're entitled and they own the place, or they are just rich or whatever, or they are certain culture and manner. They bring that culture to Japan and expect everybody respect them. Everybody just please them. Okay. I don't think any other nation would accept that. I mean, if they accept, I think something's wrong with them, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm sorry for me, this perspective, this view that you go to any other countries and disrespect that culture and manner and do whatever you like shouldn't be accepted in any other nations and countries. So I just want to say that I have never thought about this, that a Japanese person would discriminate me because of the color of my skin. Never. I can say I have zero experiences in Japan. And that's fascinating because I'm not white. Okay. To be honest, people usually say, oh, Japanese love white people. What about me? I am not white. And they respected me, they liked me. And I think it's just because of who I am and how much I respected them back for what they did for me. Okay. I didn't disrespect their culture. I follow their style. I pick up some words when I was there, and they were so happy. Whenever you say, this is kind of funny thing. Whenever you say some Japanese word in front of Japanese, they become so happy all of a sudden, right? And that's enough for them to be happy when you just say some random words. So I never been, to be honest, this is what I wanted to say in this video, that I don't know what these people coming up with these ideas that Japanese are racist towards them, but I know why they feel like that. Sorry, just pointing to you guys because this is all on you. Okay, this is your problem. This is your fault. Okay, there's a word for it, entitlement, and you go there and you feel like Japanese should respect whoever you are and whatever you do. And honestly, I think it's on them, not Japanese people. Look, I love Japan like the rest of people, and I know there are some negative side of part of Japan as well. We will talk about it maybe in other episodes. But for now, in this episode, I would say it's on those foreigners, whoever makes those noise that, oh, Japanese are like that, racist or whatever. I I'm 90% sure it's their fault. Okay, and we have seen videos on social media what they do when they go to Japan. And usually it's those people who go there, do crazy stuff in the train or in Shinjuku, Shibuya, dancing in the middle of the road, and people tell them, "Hey, don't do that here." Or they go kick the deers in the park, right, in Nara. So these people are usually people who go back to United States or China or whatever. They start posting on social media, Japanese were so rude to me or discriminated us or didn't let us to go to a restaurant. That's my point of view because I live there. Okay. I know Japanese people more than a tourist who goes to Japan and do stupid things and feel bad about Japanese people. Okay. That's my point of view. I don't know what you think about what I said.
Yeah, I think I I I basically 100% agree with you. I think people I'll basically go back to the post office example
Mm-hmm.
that I was just talking about. So yeah, I think a lot of it is the entitlement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Entitlement, if we summarize it. Uh, and you made a lot of great points and about your experiences. I also went through similar cases. Definitely, it wasn't just once, not just twice. It was constant. It was usually the not the it usually wasn't the Japanese person's fault. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, when I was at the post office, I thought I had some entitlement. Like I thought that it was okay because I was able to get away with this either in the States or in China,
Mm-hmm.
where I can walk in there and I cannot know anything that I learned. Oh, I learned how to say like three things in Japanese. I go in there and I start saying I want to send money to
Mm-hmm.
the US, and they're gonna show me, okay, which form do you want to use? I thought that was enough, and okay, somehow we're gonna figure it out. Just the way that in China people would put up with me. Basically, they would accommodate me
Mm-hmm.
and help me with things that I needed help with. In those particular situations in Japan, that's not what they were used to doing. They were
Mm-hmm.
used to like, what do you want to do? Okay, great. We have a couple of forms. Read them, fill it out, give it to us, and we will do exactly what you want. Right? So
Yeah.
they had a system in place already.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't interested in trying to follow their system. I was more interested in, well, I don't know what your system is, but I mean well. I'm being nice. I'm not trying to do anything bad here. So just provide me the service. Let's figure it out together. That's not something they wanted to do. They wanted everything to work like clockwork.
Yes. Yeah.
They wanted everything to work the way that they're used to working. And I did start to realize the more I learned Japanese, like if you can make these things work like clockwork with
Mm-hmm.
them,
Mm-hmm.
they greatly appreciate it. And yeah, and a lot of the discrimination slash racist, all those feelings, negative feelings that a lot of I guess foreigners face, those start to just go away,
Yes.
and they start to become complete non-issues to the point where I did start to see Japan as another home.
Mm.
So I'm actually born and raised in the U.S. Mexican American.
Mm.
If we're going to talk about blood, I'm actually full-blood Mexican.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just I felt like there's you just learn there's it was my second home. Like I could just live in Japan. I could live in the States,
Yeah.
or I could live in Japan and I could be fully comfortable. Well, that's just someone like I'm the type of person who can go into like a bookstore and take any book off the shelf, start reading it, or go into a barber shop and like read everything, like all the
Mm-hmm.
rules, take a magazine and read the magazine. I don't, it feels basically the same for me. Like the level of comfort
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
understanding, I think, is about the same as where I was born and raised, right?
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of the I start to understand. I can obviously we can see the entitlement of people who haven't lived there,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then we start to realize that obviously, almost any encounter that you have with Japanese people, they really are not caring about where you're from,
No, never.
uh,
I've never,
never, or what
actually, they never
color.
asked me where you're from, you know. They didn't care. They didn't care
Yeah,
in my case at least. Yeah.
yeah. I think when they would only ask me those kind of questions like in language exchanges, because that's kind of what you ask, right? It's like a kind of a
Yes.
template of like where
Yeah.
you from, because it's
Exactly.
like it's like easy either easy English or easy Japanese, right? So, but
Yeah.
yeah, basically it is as you say. They don't really care.
Yeah.
They care to know the person, and they're very fair. They're very fair, and a race is yeah. it's very easy to say that race is rarely a thing for them even. It's
Yes.
just whether or not you're like they can communicate with you, whether or not you're following their rules or trying your best. They know whether or not like they know that you're trying your best to follow the rules, like because they appreciate attempts as well.
Yes.
As you were saying earlier, they greatly appreciate any attempts made. If they're able to notice that you're making the attempt, they greatly appreciate it every time. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, they're pretty yeah, I think they're really easy to get along with, for sure.
Exactly. So I totally agree with you as well here. So both of us, as you said, you are also Mexican. We are both not white people. I keep repeating that because people abroad believe that Japanese love white people only, but that's not true. That's actually not true. They like all the people. It doesn't matter what color of a skin you have, yeah, or nationality. Actually, they they don't care about nationality at all. Whatever statement and claims that some of foreigners have is just wrong towards Japanese, especially Japanese, because we live there and we never felt it, and that's because we blended in the society and we try to be as close to their culture and manner. And hopefully we in this channel we try to educate some of people to learn how to behave, at least even if they fake it, it still is greatly appreciated. And you don't have to be perfect when you go to Japan, but at least follow some certain rules and manners. And of course, any other countries would appreciate it too, not just Japan, right? I mean, there's always something I always tell my friends: when you come to my home, you have to follow my rules, right? You have to respect my home. So I'm not going if I go to your house and you tell me you have to take off your shoes, I definitely take off my shoes, right? That's your house. I'm not saying, oh, sorry, in the US we wear shoes. Sorry, I'm not going to take it off here. No, that's your home. You tell me you have to take it off, I take it off. You say you have to use your hands to eat food, no problem. I'm gonna, you teach me how to do it, right? So I came to your home. I have to respect the um, your home rules or manner and system, whatever you have in place. So for me, it's so strange. It's very, very strange when some foreigners go to Japan and they want Japanese to speak to them in English, and they want Japanese, and actually they criticize Japanese. Oh, why Japanese don't speak English? Oh, excuse me. Why they need to speak English, right? For in the first place, why do they need to speak English? It's Japan, and the official language is Japanese. It's not like most countries in Europe that they have official language or second languages, or no, or African countries, right? No, it's Japan. Official language is Japanese. Why do you criticize Japanese that they have to speak English just because you speak English? Okay, so this is kind of annoying when I hear that that foreigners complain about when they go to Japan, there is nothing in English, or Japanese don't speak English to them. And there was, yeah, there was some videos I watched the other day. Japan is not an English-friendly country or a woman-friendly country, or whatever religion, some sort of
It
religion friendly, you know?
th those
Why
are
would,
oh, sorry,
yeah.
sorry
So
to
now
cut
keep
you off,
going.
but all those are is especially interesting because people actually go to Japan for a
Yes,
Japanese experience
exactly.
because they say they love the culture.
Yes.
Whatever it is, like, why do you want to go to Japan? You can get it. Basically, every people have similar answers. And yet, when they go to Japan, they
Hmm.
don't. All of a sudden, like the culture doesn't matter anymore.
No.
It's like speak English is what matters. It's not, well, obviously because they want to understand the culture through English, but they don't understand that you actually have to try to understand the culture through Japanese, through the
Yes.
Japanese language. And yeah, it is. I would say it's an illogical fallacy that a lot of these foreigners hold. Um,
Yeah, and I don't get it. Like, If you go to France or Spain or Italy, you want to try, for example, spaghetti, right? Or Italian pizza, right? I've seen some people come to Japan and go, where's the closest McDonald's, for example, you know? Or where can find Burger King? What then? Why, bro? I know you came to Japan and maybe you don't like some certain food, but at least can you give it a try? You know, try onigiri, the easiest one and the most maybe delicious and cheapest you can find in every service. What they call it? I forgot. Conveni, right? Or
Convenience store.
convenience
Yeah.
stores, right? So they come and look for American food, for example, or look for McDonald's or Burger King. And I don't get it. Like you come to this country to experience, this culture, this country. For example, some certain group looking for people from their own country to hang out with, okay? Or they join their own community that they have. I understand, but like I know Indonesians have their own community, for example, and always they are hanging out together. They're having like they don't have nomikai, but they have some sort of dinner party or whatever. They're hanging out all the time together. I understand that some people feel lonely or they want to have their own friends and community, but they this way you don't blend in the culture. You don't, hang out with Japanese people or other nationalities as well. So for me, it's so strange when I see some foreigners go to Japan and expect Japan to provide them halal food, for example, or provide them, uh, yeah, no, where was it? I watched a video. A lady said, "Oh, Japan is not a Muslim-friendly country, for example." But Japan is not a Muslim country, okay? Or is not. They're Buddhist and they eat whatever they can, make it delicious and eat it. So.
Right.
I don't understand. It's not friend. It shouldn't be friendly with what they call it, something friendly that you like. Okay, it's Japan. Then why did you come to Japan? Oh, of course, you can always bring your own food, right? So, so I don't know. It's so strange to me that many foreigners act so strange and criticize Japan for what it is. That's why we love Japan, because Japan is Japan. We don't want Japan to change to become a certain thing friendly. Okay, then it becomes Europe, it becomes United States, it becomes Canada. Okay,
Yeah.
Japan is Japan because it has its own culture and manner and system. We don't want to change that. Yeah, we want to. I hope Japan improves in some aspects that we will discuss maybe later, but not
Yeah.
changing the culture. You don't want to change the culture. You don't want to change the food culture. Japanese food is one of the most delicious food mankind maybe knows on earth. Of course, not offending some of the countries that have delicious food, but from my experience, there are thousands type of food you can eat in Japan, and whenever you eat a different food, I can't tell your brain has a party in it, the neurons partying after you eat Japanese food. So I think the most dangerous thing that can happen to a country is destroying the culture of that country. Okay, so Japan is Japan because it maintained its culture for thousands of years. Okay, and I think that's what I like about Japan specifically because they still kept the culture. They didn't change it. Once start changing the culture and the system or whatever, Japan is not Japan anymore. I shouldn't say that. Maybe some Japanese get offended here, but you should stick to your culture. Japan without its culture is not Japan anymore. You become Asian like the rest of Asian countries. You're not Japan anymore. I mean,
Yep.
maybe that's why China is China. China is I know Chinese have Chinatown in every country, right? And every New Year they have this lion dance. I can see it wherever I go. Chinese didn't change their culture.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off there.
No, no, it's
Just
all
to
right.
add to what you're saying, I think that if people go to Japan and they don't try to change it,
Mm-hmm.
simply just doing that, go to Japan and don't try to change things there, you're gonna have already a much better experience than most people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just try to learn basic things you need that hopefully we can teach some basic phrases later on, maybe in this channel or this episodes. To teach some basic phrases that every foreigner needs when they go to Japan, right? And trust me, the Japanese will be very happy to see that you've tried to learn these phrases. You can cheat also, write it on palm of your hand, right? But at least try and show some respect, you know? You don't do that. You want Japanese to speak English for you. Or I don't know, maybe French people want Japanese to speak French too, right? So just go try, challenge yourself. Just go there and learn some basic phrases. Just try to interact with Japanese nicely, okay? I've seen some people just go and stop people in the street and bother them. You know that Japanese are always running in, especially in Tokyo, because they're busy, okay? I work in Tokyo, okay? You work in Tokyo, you know, people go to work like as they get up at 5 or 6 a.m., they go to work and they go back home 9, 10 p.m. And imagine you're tired, you're dead tired, and somebody stop you, speaks to you in English and asks something and you don't understand. How do you feel about that, right? And you try to help that person, and that person doesn't try even open up his Google Translate and translate something. You know, oh my God, I will be frustrated too. Bro, I work like 16 hours today, and you ask me so much stupid question I can't answer. Just get away, let me go home and sleep, bro. My beer is waiting for me at home. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I feel Japanese people sometimes, okay? I get frustrated. I'm a foreigner, okay? But I work there, and if somebody would stop me on the way back home, I would get pissed too, man. You know, we work so, I mean, in Japan, you work so hard from morning to evening, and people stop you on the way to train, and you miss your train because that guy asked a question. People don't get it, man. I use this Yamanote line, right?
Yeah,
Jesus
the
Christ,
main
like
line.
early in the morning, it was like hell. And when we finish the work, it's also hell. You can't, obviously, you have to, what they call it, become a hamburger? No? You have to compress in the train. And if you 1 second late, the train is gone, you know? And imagine somebody stop you in the middle of the road, ask you some questions. Japanese usually don't do that. But foreigners that stop you, just ask random questions in the middle of the way. Jesus Christ, just use your Google map, okay? Or maybe we should introduce Google Map here as well sometimes, or Google Translate and ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You don't have to always stop people, especially in Japan. It's very rude to stop people. If you're really in danger or problem, if you really need help, it's okay. But there are police in Japan, there are information centers in Japan, there are in the train stations, there are people who answer your questions. Don't stop a businessman on the road, please, dude. That's the last thing you want to. It's like you step on a tiger's tail, man. Sorry, yeah.
No, yeah. No, no. Yeah, they're always on a schedule. Even
Yes.
on their days off, they're on a schedule because it's really quite difficult for them to make time
Yeah.
to do anything. So it's a very yeah, they work around time. I think yeah, I actually forgot. I think many people might know this if they've ever taken Japanese or if they studied Japanese society. But time is extremely important in Japan. Very few people. I
Yeah.
think there's very few moments when you're going to be able to walk up to one of them and just unless you're around uh, those kinds of cities where you can interact with locals,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Shibuya or Shinjuku at night.
Mm.
If it's just like a normal day in Japan, very few of them are going to have time to stop
Yeah.
for you
That's
or for
yeah.
anyone.
This is one tip that any foreigner should follow when they go to Japan. If you see a man running or is in a rush or any man or anybody in Japan, don't stop them. Let them go because they're in a hurry. They're on schedule. Trust me, if you're late for a meeting, okay, in Japan, it's a serious problem there, okay? Don't stop these people. Let them go to their business. There are people responsible to answer any questions you have in train stations, information centers, tourist area, tourist, what they call it, tourist information centers. And
Yeah,
of course, if you don't have a SIM card, there are free Wi-Fi's throughout the city. I'm pretty sure there are Wi-Fi's everywhere in Japan. You can just walk up to random 7-Eleven and get free Wi-Fi's probably. So don't stop these people. This is one thing that I really wanted to say, and it's also annoying because in Japan, as you know, it's very sensitive issue that if you're late for a meeting or 15 minutes or 5 minutes late, so it's a big issue in Japan. So please don't do that when you go to Japan. Oh, another thing is very funny. I've seen so many videos. These foreigners go to Japan and walk up to girls and tell them, I love you and I want to marry you, or, oh, this is what, sorry, I wanted to use F word. This is so rude and annoying. Okay. This is not cool. This is so cheap. Don't do it. No, don't do it, especially in Japan. Okay. I mean, I know in Italy they do that. Uh, don't do that in Japan. It's so not cool, man. Not cool. I saw the video the other day. The guy, I think they were from France. They were saying, "Oh, Japanese girls, I love you. I love you so much. Follow me on Instagram. Call me. I'm in Shibuya today." Like, bro, what do you mean? You want all the girls message you and hang out because of what? Because you're white or whatever? You know, I don't know. I know people want to have fun, but this is so rude in Japan. Don't do it. If that's your goal, if you watch some anime and read some manga and just go to Japan and you think you just go walk up to girls and tell them you love them and they're just gonna fall in love with you and do whatever you want after that, oh, please don't do that. That's so lame and gross, by the way. I don't know if you have
yeah,
experience, but mostly I saw these things in Shibuya and Shinjuku, Roppongi, and this area. I've seen a lot of people do stupid things like that, and I was like, bro, which country you coming from? Which culture you coming from? And you don't know anything about Japan. Don't do these things. I know some people like it, but not all people. Don't do it to everybody. Go
yeah.
ahead.
There's probably like there's places to meet up with people, but I think to be more successful with that kind of stuff, like you'd have to, if you are interested in trying to meet Japanese women, you'd have to try to find um, meetups where they're more likely to speak English. But I think overall, obviously, the easiest thing is just to try to learn as much Japanese as possible. That'll
Yeah.
increase the amount of events, the amount of applications that you can use, um, so that you can uh, try, I guess, have an easier time doing that. But definitely in public, when they're just standing there, they're definitely not used to people who they don't know randomly coming up to them.
No.
And yeah, it turns most of them off. Uh,
Yeah.
they're usually, especially if they're with their friends. So definitely,
Mm. I've seen a lot of instances like that, and they get shocked. They get kind of scared as
yeah,
well.
yeah, scared.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
definitely
just have to
scared.
see their faces. Why? Why? First of all, they don't understand what you're saying. Okay. Even if you use your later on, if you use your translator or whatever, you just already scared them off. Okay. These poor girls, because of you on the street in East Japan, they need to feel safe. Okay. Don't just walk up to random people and propose to them. Okay. Jesus. Are we living in 500 BC? What they call it? Yeah.
In, in ancient times.
Asian time.
Yeah,
So yeah, man. I mean, there are many topics here we have to talk about, but I mean, we need to tell our experiences and the frustrations we had when we lived in Japan, and of course the good aspects and
all the good and
all the good
bad
and bad. Let's
aspects.
put it this way, all the good and
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which for the most part, it's gonna. I think we're both gonna. It's gonna be overwhelmingly good.
Yeah.
But there's definitely the those few bad things do happen to be, or like bad points about Japan do happen to be uh kind of significant.
Yeah.
They stand out a lot. Um,
Yes.
so yeah,
And I think most Japanese already know that.
yeah,
And probably some foreigners already know that those things maybe. So we're gonna discuss these things later as well. But also, meanwhile, maybe we can uh, provide some of the useful phrases later on to teach here. For example, next time, hopefully our friends from abroad trying to go to Japan, they have a little bit more confidence and be more polite and respectful when they go to visit great Japan and have a good time there. And of course, don't give a hard time to locals and Japanese as well. Because let's be honest, Japanese is a peaceful country, okay? And you don't want to mess with them as well. They're nice people, okay? And they are shy most of the time. They are respectful as much as possible, but don't mess with them also, okay? I'm not saying they're gonna do anything bad to you, but don't do that. It's not cool. If somebody is respectful already and peaceful, don't mess with their peace, okay? That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. Wherever you come from, I don't care. Wherever you come from, trust me, even me, as long as you're nice to me, I respect you. Japanese are like that. As long as you're nice to them, they're gonna respect you. This is my advice and opinion that I have that if you want to visit any other countries, at least open up Google or ask ChatGPT things you have to do and not to do in those countries and how to behave. It's not very difficult. I mean, if you don't in 2025, you don't know if you don't have ChatGPT and internet, I don't know how you got the money to go visit Japan, by the way. So you don't have, yeah, it's by the way, it's free. You don't have to pay for ChatGPT. Just ask ChatGPT, I'm planning to go to Japan. Please tell me what things that I don't need to do. Okay, I need to stop doing when I go to Japan. I have these bad habits. This is my bad personality, and this is my culture, and this is my country. Should I do the same thing when I go to Japan? I tell you what, ChatGPT tells you absolutely not. Yeah. I'm not I'm not generalizing. I'm just saying some people, which we already have seen a lot of videos on social media, probably you and I, at least, that they are
yeah.
very disrespectful to people, to communities, to cultures, to restaurant owners, to police. I've seen people hit Japanese police sometimes. Bro, are you kidding me?
It's definitely a more it's a very difficult country to, I guess, enjoy if you're like really entitled, because
Yeah.
that's exactly what they t basically bring them up not to be like that at all. Like you do have to worry about the person who's standing next to you. You do have to worry about the people around you, whether or not you're going to bother someone with your actions. And they do
Hmm.
this constantly. It's never ending.
Hmm.
Uh, and you're gonna have to, yeah, like I think this is one of the more the prominent countries where if you do come here, you do have to contribute to the society in the way of respect, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Uh, you do have to care about those around you, at least in terms of not bothering them, not causing any stress for them, and you do have to maintain that at all times.
Hmm.
I guess a lot of people might say like, "Oh, isn't that common sense?" And it's like, I think there's varying degrees of how much people are willing to respect the boundaries, which in Japan there are many of other people. I think, like I would my example earlier, I thought it was perfectly fine to go into the post office and sort of just figure the what out what I needed to do with the person who was working there. I thought that was okay, and then I later learned, oh, okay, that's not okay. You're actually just causing problems for everybody. By and yeah, that's something that I wasn't aware of. So yeah, I think people who are just willing to learn and accept these things, as you also mentioned the train station where the lady had to constantly be opening the
Yeah.
alternate exit or alternate passage in the
Yeah.
form of a door.
Yeah,
to fix basically the mistakes of people who didn't understand how the system worked. Yeah, and but you learned from it, and
yes,
you used it throughout the rest of your life in Japan.
exactly.
Yeah, I think people just really willing to learn, willing to be humble, willing to learn, always willing to learn. I think people who are naturally just always wanting to learn something, and naturally these people also be humble because they understand that they have a lack of knowledge that they have to continuously fill for the rest of their life. These people also think will do quite well in Japan.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I live in multiple countries. Japan was one of them, right? And whenever I go, I just adapt to the culture and the country. Whatever they do, I learn it, I do it, I respect it. So I eat the local food. I tried at least to show them some respect. Uh, uh, I was in Indonesia. I tell you, this is a funny story. I'm not good, very good with the spicy food. So when I was in Indonesia, I tried Indonesian food like every single day, right? Of course, I had to. I had no choice. But I asked them to give me the less spicy food. Oh, wow. I had problems like every night. Yeah. I had to visit the restroom crying. But they were so happy when I was trying the food they offered me, the people, the friends. By the way, Indonesians were very friendly when I was there. Again, I didn't feel any discriminations in Indonesia at all. They were so friendly in Indonesia and helped me a lot. And the food was very good. People were very nice. Um, and only problem was the food was very spicy, right? But again, the same thing in Indonesia. I respected them and respected the culture they had, and I had no issues with them. And I actually enjoyed a lot in Indonesia because of that. They were happy with me. I was happy with them. I've learned a lot of things from them. They were trying to teach me their language. I was very nice. And they showed me everywhere in their area, you know, and they were super, super happy to see that I'm trying to do what they do. And I'm very much enjoying eating their food. They offered me tea, I don't know, chai or tea. I forgot. And I tell you this, they put half of the cup was sugar, bro. Like, bro, am I eating sugar or is it tea? Uh, so I think, yeah, I had some blood sugar issues when I was in Indonesia, I think. But I have to tell this because, oh my God, I was so shocked to see how much sugar was in my tea, bro. Yeah, so my point is, wherever I visited and lived in, I never felt bad that way. I would say I felt once or twice in Malaysia when I was in Malaysia, but other than that, any other places I lived or visited, I never felt any discrimination towards me because I'm not entitled. I never go, you know, uh, against their culture or try to, you know, what they call it, try to be ASS and, tell them, oh, you have to speak my language or why don't you speak English? In Indonesia, many people didn't speak English, right? I had no problem with that. I tried to understand them and they tried
Yeah,
to understand. And they were so happy to see I just said some little Indonesian word, right? And they were so happy. Oh my God, you should see how happy they were. I should have had this camera, what they call it, GoPro, and recorded that. Their happiness was priceless, I'll tell you that. But yeah, so I think it's about people, man. It's about people and how much you respect any country you're visiting. And I visited so many countries in my life, and I tell you this is the case. Many foreigners want those countries to accommodate them, right? And that's the issue. You come to this country, you have to adapt to the culture and learn their things and follow their rules and system and manner. That's the problem, man. That's the problem I've seen in so many countries. That's why so many countries are frustrated with immigration. because they are not following rules, man. They are not respecting the locals. They are not respecting the culture. And Japan has seen that as well. Even you have seen it probably the news. I mean, Japan is getting to the point that they say, that's enough, you know, enough. Enough you destroyed our shrines, enough of you destroying our parks, enough of throwing garbage everywhere in Shinjuku or train stations, enough of
Being
kicking
loud.
our deers in
Yeah.
Nara, enough of making noise in our trains. Enough, enough. We gave you a chance, okay? We respect you up to now. How much do you have to respect somebody, right? They take advantage of Japanese people's kindness and being humble and not talking to you and tell you scold you in the train, for example, or kick you out of the train station or whatever, or a train. And you're taking advantage of that. That's kind of disgusting, bro. Ah, I don't get those people. I would never get them anyway, but
Yeah, I think if we start to further add, we're
yeah,
going to end
yeah.
up going on to other topics
Yes, we're going to other
at this
topic.
point. So I guess for this one, we could probably do a follow-up at some point to it
We
if
can, yeah,
necessary. But yeah,
definitely. We're gonna come back to this anyway because it's what they call interconnected
yes,
to the
to
rest of
everything.
things we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
It's connected to everything else. So we're gonna come back to this more, and probably we have more story to tell of our life in Japan. Every single day of my life in Japan was a new story. Anyway, I can write a book about it. Okay, that's the first day I arrived in Japan up to the end when I left. Right, I can write a
Yeah.
book about it. So we can talk about it in the other episodes and we can follow this up. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this is a I would definitely have to think about there's definitely a lot to think about. We keep saying we don't understand people like that.
Hmm.
Uh I like to think and to basically give the advice to have a little bit more humility. I think people are we're getting to the point where I guess we have these little pocket computers in our pocket, and
Hmm.
we're reading things and we're learning things, and I think we may believe that we know everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what leads to this lack of humility. Leads to this you wanting everybody to accommodate you. But if you don't if you just have a little bit more open mind and want to put the effort to understand other people and do things their way, especially in their country, then I think it's going to go a very long way. You probably get a lot out of it, the experience.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think we can finish today's episode here. Thank you very much. Uh,
Yeah, thank you.
JD, is that
Thank you
correct?
very
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. We're gonna have this episodes maybe continued and have more sharing more of our experiences and more educational contents maybe sharing here. And if anybody's interested to learn more Japanese, maybe we can also they can comment here also and ask for it. Probably, as I said, JD is almost native level in Japanese. I am not. But we can probably provide some like I know there are a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of other resources you can learn from, but that's not the whole purpose of this channel or this episode. It's just to provide you essentials that you need before visiting Japan. Thank you very much again, JD, for having this session with me. And I hope we can have more talks later and maybe next week.
Yeah, sure. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.